welcome to Main Road for the 118th Manchester Derby, and it could well be one of the most important in the long history of this fiercely contested fixture. Manchester United, pursuing their first league championship for 26 years, will go back top of the Premier League if they win, or even draw here today, and City would move up to 4th place and therefore into contention for a European place next season if they win. But just as important, of course, as the points at stake here is local pride. Well, Manchester City make one change. Midfielder Fitzroy Simpson is injured, and the player-manager Peter Reid has picked himself to replace Simpson. It's Reid's first game since January, but his long experience of these big city derbies, he's played in them in Manchester, on Merseyside and in London in his long career, will surely be a vital factor for City today. Peter Reid, at the age of, well, he doesn't like people mentioning it, but let's say he's the wrong side of 30, still loves playing the game, still has the enthusiasm of a teenager. Manchester United have the luxury of naming an unchanged team. They've got a really settled pattern in the side these days, a lot of competition for places, but they're sticking with the team that drew against Aston Villa in that magnificent match last weekend that underlined the championship potential of both sides. It's up to Manchester United now to use this opportunity here against their local rivals to press their claims and go back to the top of the table. The referee today is from Darlington in the northeast, Mr. Bob Hart, and well, any referee will tell you that local derby matches are obviously among the most difficult to control. It's not so much that the players go literally over the top, but the enthusiasm of the crowd and the bitterness and rivalry that is often felt on these occasions can transmit itself to the teams, and sometimes tempers can run high. But Mr. Hart, I'm sure, an experienced official, will be well in control of things here. A full house crowd for this unusually early kick-off, 11 AM, at the request of the Manchester Police. And of course, everyone mindful of the fact that Manchester City had those problems here when they played Tottenham in an FA Cup tie, the pitch invasion, which no one wants to see repeated. So Manchester City in the blue shirts and white shorts get this derby match underway, attacking from left to right. City 7th in the Premier League, 46 points from 32 games at the start of play. Manchester United 2nd with 61 points from 33 games. Vonk immediately dispossessed by Hughes, but Andy Hill cuts off the ball and then a bad one straight to Giggs. Chance here for United in the opening minute. Ryan Giggs, who scored 4 times in his last 6 games, presented with a gift opening there, and looked as though he hadn't really got himself attuned to the pace of things as Hill made that dreadful mistake for City. Giggs really should have kept the shot lower than that, and he'll know that. The 19-year-old in magnificent form at the moment, but should have tested Tony Coton then. Peter Reid loses out to the first header, but the ball breaks kindly for him. Hill knocking it long. Sheeran and Quinn up front for City today. Here's White, his pace as ever a vital factor, but he gives it away. Cantona, booze for him, he won't be bothered about that. Feeling with a neat interception. Holden to his left, Reid going forward on his right. It's Holden who gets it. And not really a good enough cross. Well, Cantona not very popular with the home fans here. Flitcroft was for beating him to that loose ball. And that early mistake by Andy Hill, I'm sure, will have unsettled him. It might well have led to the most dramatic opening goal. And on my watch, there were 30 seconds gone only when Ryan Giggs had that shooting chance. Ball kept in play. Ince knocks it forward, and he couldn't keep it in. City's throw. Terry Phelan will take it. Forward to Quinn. Headed away by Pallister. And a strange sort of clearance. Pallister under it again for United. Good link-up play involving Flitcroft, and a useful little ball in. And Schmeichel slipped then, under no pressure whatsoever, in collecting that headed effort by Andy Hill. Well, it may be an unusually early start for the fans as well as the players here in Manchester, but it hasn't affected the level of noise and commitment from the terraces and stands. And nor will it affect, I'm sure, the commitment on the field. The whistle had gone there. Manchester City have a free kick. Terry Phelan, born in Manchester, of course, although it took him a long time to find his way back to his native city in his career. Played for Leeds and Swansea, Wimbledon before coming here. Curl with a long ball forward, and that was handball. And Niall Quinn at 6'4" has got less excuse to handle the ball in that situation than anyone, I think. Obstruction there by Curl on Lee Sharp. Indirect free kick. Curl doesn't agree with it, and I must say I'm not sure he could really have gone out of Sharp's way if he'd wanted to then. They've sent Pallister forward for Lee Sharp's kick. There he is, number 6. It goes in towards him. It's too deep, in fact, but Bruce, the other centre-back, keeps it in play. That was a dangerous little ball by Bruce. He did well there, the inspirational skipper of Manchester United in his 6th season now at Old Trafford. Flitcroft got there first, and a strange headed clearance by Hill. Quinn rescues it for City, and then Phelan. The linesman had flagged for offside there. I think it was Sheeran who got too far forward. Pallister with the free kick. Tried to hit it in behind Phelan, who was having none of it. Flitcroft gets it away. White has switched from the right to the left. Reed breaks clear now, the player-manager for City. And did well. Hill, who didn't do very well. And there's a big gap now left behind, but Schmeichel's throw goes straight to Curl. Now Hill, who stayed forward. That's a better ball, and it goes back to Sheeran. And a decent-looking cross. Pallister could take no chances there. Corner kick. Had to do that, Gary Pallister. Didn't know whether anyone was coming in behind him. And Rick Holden, who curls these corners in wickedly, will test Pallister and his teammates again. Good alert play by City to take the corner quickly, and Holden gets it in towards Quinn. Good goalkeeping. Schmeichel always in command. Reed wins it back. Curl. White turning to make room for himself, and tried to take on Irwin, and wins the throw. Ince with a good interception. Irwin's clearance wasn't too clever, and Flitcroft picks it up and couldn't keep it in possession for long enough. Hughes loses out to Curl, who read that one superbly. Now White. So much pace about this Manchester City side in most positions. Sheeran. Well, it wasn't a bad effort. Young Mike Sheeran has scored 13 goals this season, the 21-year-old Merseysider, and his quick thinking then produced a snapshot, but it was, in fairness, always going high. Seven minutes gone, 0-0. And a mistake again by Hill, and Phelan cleaned things up for City. think that early error by Andy Hill in the opening minute has unsettled him slightly. He's looked a bit apprehensive in possession. The linesman was flagged for offside in the middle against Sheeran, the number 8 there. Wasn't Quinn, but certainly his ability to test Pallister and Bruce will be something that City will be hoping to exploit today. Hughes at the other end has exploited Vonk and got the free kick out of him. So good in those situations, Hughes, at turning and forcing defenders to play through him. And Vonk fell for the old trick then. Dangerous position, this free kick. Giggs over the ball, number 3 is Irwin, 8 is Ince. And they'll know what to expect here, these City players, although there are several options for United. Well, the effort was a bit predictable, in all honesty, by Giggs, but still he has a chance here. And now Hughes, was that handball? No, says the referee, and City break dangerously. United have pulled a lot of players forward, and they've got to chase back now as Sheeran wastes the opening. Bit of anxiety there on Mike Sheeran's part. He really had more time to pick and choose his target. Offside, isn't it? Has to be, yeah. Ryan Giggs. Remarkable to think that he's still a teenager, Giggs. Everything that he's achieved in the last couple of years. Curl finding Quinn, turns it on too quickly. Manchester United have lost only one of their last 7 league games. That was at Oldham, although they also, in that spell, suffered the FA Cup defeat at Sheffield United in the 5th round. Manchester City also going out of the FA Cup against Tottenham on this ground. So the Premier League occupying the thoughts 100% of both clubs now. Coton can't pick that one up, remember. Flitcroft was being fouled by Ince, I thought. The long ball finds Flitcroft. That was unlucky, actually. You could see what he was trying there, angling it out towards Holden, but Parker read it well, and Schmeichel slips again. I don't know whether he's worn the wrong studs in his boots here, Schmeichel, but he's twice fallen over under no pressure. Well, Vonk again came barging in on Hughes, who kept possession and feeds Giggs. Good football by Manchester United. Irwin, outside of the foot, lovely ball. Giggs. Could have been dangerous, but no one moved into the near post to anticipate. Peter Reid, he'll be loving this, absolutely loving it. Hill. Useful ball, and the whistle's gone. Free kick to Manchester United, and the City players look somewhat bemused at that decision. Steve Bruce for United. Manchester City have been inconsistent recently. Their last 7 games have produced 3 wins and 4 defeats. A week ago they lost 1-0 against the reigning champions Leeds United. Here's Cantona, the former Leeds United player. Went through 2 tackles and gets the free kick. Been a big influence, of course, for United since moving across the Pennines from Ellen Road, and forced Holden into that rash tackle. Parker swings it in first time. Good header forward, and Hill got it away with Giggs breathing down his neck. Cantona. Offside. Referee set play on, they're in possession anyway. Giggs not too happy with the service then. Good kick that by Schmeichel. It's got Vonk struggling a little bit, and he almost got too much on that header. The Dutchman came here a year ago for £500,000 from Dordrecht. Win under pressure from White. No problem for Parker though. Schmeichel on a little walkabout here. Delivered a decent kick and wins the throw-in. Phelan knocking it behind. Parker's looking for a bit more movement and finds it from Hughes, who loses out. Quinn. Oh, well played, Parker. It was a bit of a clumsy throw by the England international in the first place, but his pace then in getting back to recover the ball, really quite something. Vonk and Hughes are having a real battle here, and you can see it becoming quite a physical battle as the game wears on, and the referee thought that was a physical challenge as well. Manchester United's free kick. And in it goes high towards Hughes and McClair. Neither of them got there. Phelan with the clearance. Quinn took it well on the chest. Now Reed. Holden hugging that left touchline as ever. That's a good ball forward. Looking to use White's pace. Bruce gets it clear for United. A good ball for Giggs. This is what the crowds love to see. Giggs taking people on, and he's beaten Hill and got a splendid ball into the middle. Oh, vintage piece of Ryan Giggs play there. Phelan shows his pace. Not a bad ball. Good interception by Bruce. Lively start to this game. Good stuff this. White in possession for City. Not the best cross though. Still, City keep possession. Not for long. Scott in ahead of Reed. Power and pace all over this field. And that's a very fine tackle by Phelan. I think a lot of people surprised that Terry Phelan hasn't figured more in England squads down the years. Good enough footballer. Certainly he's got all the pace required at the highest level. That's a terrific kick, isn't it, by Coton? Quinn. Holden. Got White and Sheeran in the middle. Took too long to make the cross. And here's Flitcroft again for Manchester City. Good challenge by Parker. Sheeran forces it through, but no problem for Schmeichel. Quarter of an hour gone here. Cantona slips, so the surface obviously is a little bit more greasy than it might appear. Still 0-0. Whoops, that was a clumsy ball by Curl. And Parker makes the mistake. Schmeichel did so well then. Excellent goalkeeping. Parker playing the ball in a bit too short, and Sheeran got in between the defender and the goalkeeper. There we are. Parker's header just dropped into no man's land, and Schmeichel did well to claim it. Excellent clearance from Gary Pallister. Quinn, as usual, making it difficult for those central defenders, and Pallister's clearance only goes as far as Flitcroft. Sheeran couldn't control that. Good work by McClair getting back to help out for United. Haven't seen too much of him yet. Cantona's header to Hughes. Back it goes to the Frenchman, and on towards Giggs. Bit too deep for him. Hill did well that time, and Cope took a bit of a chance. Sheeran did well, and Quinn motored motors to the heart of the United defence, but I'm afraid the motor wasn't running quick enough then. Parker got in ahead of him. Not the quickest over 10 yards, Niall Quinn, 6'4". It takes him a bit long to get moving. Keith Curle for Manchester City. Parker's clearance again. Back to the City captain. Lovely skill on the ball, but a bit of a dangerous one to Vonk. He won't thank him for that. Especially as McClure came thundering in. Well, a good open game, not too many goal-scoring chances yet. But the promise that both teams are going for a win here, as indeed you'd expect in their relative positions. Here's Flitcroft for City. Good ball in the end to Hill. Easily dispossessed by Giggs, who's certainly winning the battle against the Manchester City right back at the moment. Although that ball found McClure in an offside position. And Cantona looks in that peculiar way he has, with disgust at his teammate. Curle's free kick, aimed at Quinn. Pallister beat him to it. Now Reid for City. Pallister again with a good firm header away. Cantona dispossessed. Reid battles his way through and gets the free kick. And took it too quickly in the end. Vonk trying to scrap his way through the middle. Parker was fouled then by Niall Quinn as he went up to head the ball away. Pallister looks for Cantona. He never got off the ground. McClure did though. Now Reid. And Hill is dispossessed. And it breaks here to Giggs. Chance for Giggs! Well, Ryan Giggs has now been the benefactor of two lucky breaks in the opening 20 minutes here, but was unable to make anything of either of them. Well, he's playing so well at the moment, you expect even from the most difficult angles he's able to squeeze a shot on target, but he hasn't been able to yet. Certainly one thing is for sure, his presence on the field is greatly disturbing Andy Hill, the City right back. It was Hill's error again then that led to Giggs breaking clear. Quinn's offside. Ince under pressure from Reid, and then Holden. Okay, becoming a little bit untidy in the middle of the park, but now City have possession with White. Flitcroft. Well, even David White hasn't got that kind of pace, or has he? He kept going and he forced Schmeichel into the hurried clearance. All credit to David White there, he really wouldn't let the defenders settle. Flitcroft leaves it to Hill. Curle on a run. He's done well here and wins the corner. Good play. City captain did really well there. Rick Holden will again use that educated left foot to try and find the head perhaps of Niall Quinn. Whoa, and it was a dangerous back flick, and Flitcroft onto the loose ball. Really have kept the shot down then. Good footballer, perhaps not at his best in those situations. The 20-year-old snatched at his shot a little bit. Better setting things up for others rather than scoring goals himself, I think, Gary Flitcroft. Well, he has got 5 from midfield this season, not a bad total, considering he hasn't played in all the matches. Here's White. Holden. And again gets a good crossing over White's head. Hill! Well, he seems to be involved in everything that's happening early on here, Andy Hill. Peter Reid's first major signing, the former Bury fullback, has twice made mistakes at the other end, which could have led to United goal. And on that occasion had perhaps City's best chance so far. 23 minutes gone. Reid first to it, bounced awkwardly. Parker hooks it away straight to Flitcroft. White rather. Reid just kept in play. Holden. Reid again. Phelan to Flitcroft. It's neat football by City, but they need a little bit more penetration at the moment. Oh, lovely trickery by Holden. And he's beaten a second challenge. Not quite the third. It's a foul by Reid on Ince, and a bit of a confrontation. Well, it's a derby match. We don't expect them to get up to shake hands. Perhaps Ince was suggesting that someone as grey and old as Peter Reid should be on the bench, not in the midfield. But he's doing well enough, isn't he, the player-manager? And here he is again. There'll be a few 37-year-olds who would love to be able to move that quickly. He may look slow compared to some of these younger players, but he's got a young head still. Difficult one for Bruce, this, and Schmeichel came to help him out. 20 minutes of the first half remaining here at Main Road, and Bruce has temporarily lost the boot, and the referee's telling Schmeichel to get on with it. The keeper obviously wants to make sure Bruce is ready to continue. He's going to have to get on with it now, and then in the end he slices it straight out of play. I don't know really why Schmeichel made such a meal of that. I think maybe what he was saying is he shouldn't have gone off the pitch because he would have been playing them onside if the ball had come back. Or words to that effect. Holden. Pallister gets it away. Mistake by Phelan, but he recovered well. Keith Curl. Parker gets it clear. Gets it back then from Ince. Nice flick on that by Cantona to Hughes. And back it goes to the Frenchman. And on towards McClare, who's got forward for the first time. I've seen him inside the City box. He didn't make anything of it, Brian McClare. Nil-nil when the sides met here last season, by the way. But somehow or other, I doubt it's going to be goalless today. We've had the promise of enough openings to suggest that there will be goals. Certainly when the sides met at Old Trafford in December, Alex Ferguson's team won by 2-1. And scoring the winner that day. And there's the opposition manager out on the field. Cantona dispossessed by Reed. It was a brave header, and Bruce did well. Pallister under pressure from Quinn. Nice part of the ball, bouncing high and hard. Look at that, lovely, isn't it? If only more players had that kind of control. Ince did well. Giggs. A curling, dangerous cross, and Cantona's header is kept out by Cope. I think Cantona will be frustrated because he should have done better then. But that's taking nothing away from Tony Cope. It was a downward, soft sort of header. If he'd really met it meaty, that would have been a goal for Eric Cantona, no doubt about it. The best chance of the game so far. Coton has kept City alive. Irwin turns it back in, no offside as City push forward. Giggs, dispossessed by Reed. He's still scrapping away. Peter Reed. Holden. Phelan with the clearance. First time goes straight to Bruce. And on to McClare. Got it away. Good spell this for Manchester United though. City penned in their own half. Sheeran's in trouble. Got himself out of it well. Now Flitcroft. Good ball. Excellent vision. Holden on the left. Parker kept forcing him wide. That's really good play by Parker. Well, he put that in a training video about how a fullback should deal with a difficult winger. He kept forcing him, and in the end got the goal kick. Alex Ferguson, 6 years now at Old Trafford, desperately wanting to deliver the only prize that really matters to Manchester United. After a quarter of a century and more, they still await the opportunity to call themselves champions of England. Came so close, of course, last season, losing it on the final day when Leeds United won at Sheffield United and Liverpool beat Manchester United at Anfield. But that's history. Here's Quinn, cleared by Irwin, rather fortuitously, straight to McClare. Knocks it first time with absolutely beautiful accuracy. And Cantona's skipped over the tackle here. Danger this! Oh, it was a clear-cut opening. He only had to roll it back into the path of Brian McClare and he would have had an open side of goal. But it's real end-to-end play now. And Reed gallops forward, belying his years. White. Poor pass. But again, City win the loose ball through Reed. Hill. Disappointing for City again when it looked promising. Irwin. Cantona. Good challenge by Flitcroft. He's having a good game. Here's Ince. Here at Main Road this season, Manchester City have won 6 of their games, drawn 4 and lost 5. They won their last home game 1-0 against Coventry, but 3 days earlier they suffered that FA Cup defeat against Tottenham. A win today and City would go above Sheffield Wednesday into 4th place. The home crowd shouting for a free kick and they get what they wanted. Foul by Pallister. Quinn goes forward. 14 minutes of the first half remaining. Manchester City 0, Manchester United 0. City's free kick. Phelan and Holden over the ball. This is Holden. And that was clumsy. Good ball clear by Parker. Giggs has switched from the left to the right. And a great run by Cantona. And a terrific challenge by Peter Reed. Cantona tried to con the referee into giving a free kick. Credit to Mr. Hart, he wasn't to be fooled by that. good challenge it was by Reed. And that's a good ball too. And White takes on the defender single-handed. That was a dramatic effort from that range by David White. Scored 17 goals this season. It's his best ever campaign in terms of goal scoring. And that was a good effort. Well saved by Schmeichel. Holden under pressure straight away from Parker. Will be United's throw. Giggs. Oh, lovely skill by Giggs. Just run out of room. Holden knocks it long to Sheeran. And United are defending well. Irwin. Sharp. Haven't seen too much of Lee Sharp yet. And he wasn't given much chance with that ball either. But Manchester United have the throw-in. Good work by Cantona, and a good-looking ball, and Hughes almost took Phelan's head off in bringing that down. Phelan in possession now for Manchester City. Holden. Flitcroft. Ince wouldn't allow the room to move forward, and nor was Reed given that luxury. Manchester United are marking well, getting players behind the ball, working hard, closing down the spaces here. And that has forced an inaccurate ball like that from Bond. Although Flitcroft did the same pressurising job then on the Republic of Ireland international Dennis Irwin. It's a tight game this, little to choose at the moment. Manchester United arguably looking just the better side, but Manchester City looking equally dangerous. Lovely skill from Hughes, now Sharp, beaten to it by Hill, and then Ince wins it back to Manchester United. Look how congested the midfield is, how little time players have on the ball. It's brilliant play. Hill dispossessed by Sharp, but he couldn't do anything with it. Keith Curle. Hill. Too long, surely, although Curle's going to keep going. Now, what's the centre-half doing there? Keeping a careful eye on the ball, that's what. Schmeichel's not too happy about his presence. He hasn't done anything wrong. Well, I didn't really see what he did wrong there, Curle. He just moved to cover Schmeichel's attempt to get away from him. I don't see how the referee could have read that one as a foul. I disagree with Mr. Hart there. I don't see that the laws say anything which would have construed a free kick out of that, and I'm sure Peter Reid's making that point to the official. Bruce knocks it long. Too long. Poor header though by Curle. Giggs against Phelan. Manchester United's throw it. Cantona lifts it into the penalty area. Nice control by McClair, and as Cantona came in to try and hit the loose ball, he was dispossessed. Quinn battles away well for Manchester City. But it's won back by Sharp, and now Ince for United. City pressing up all the time. White, Quinn, and a foul, wasn't it, by the Manchester United captain? It was indeed. You see it again here, as Quinn tried to turn away. There's no doubt that Bruce just stood his ground. Hill's header finds Flitcroft, turned into the space for White, and Irwin concedes the throw. 8 minutes to half-time. City's opportunity to press. Still Manchester City 0, Manchester United 0. In this 118 Manchester derby, White gets the cross blocked by Irwin. A few players still slipping, and there seems no immediate reason. Good skill then by Sheeran. It's a fine run by Sheeran. Holden's on the left. Wasn't a good enough cross by the former Oldham player. Giggs. Flitcroft turns it on, but a bit clumsily, and the old cliche about defences being on top is certainly true of this game so far. Most of the better performances out there are coming from defensive players, and both sets of attacking players are finding it difficult to make room. The challenges are coming in instantly, as that one did then. But Reed picks up the pieces for Manchester City. Hill. Good looking ball by Hill. Quinn tries to force it to Sheeran. And given away by Irwin. This is White, Manchester City. Pull back to Flitcroft. No real problem. The Danish international, Peter Schmeichel, got down a little bit late there, made a bit of a meal of it, but routine save, I would have thought. Well, it's going to take a good goal to prise open either of these defences. We hear a lot of references to Manchester United's last championship being 26 years ago, long before Lee Sharp was even born. Manchester City have gone a similar amount of time, 25 years in fact, since they were last champions of England. And as we move into the last 5 minutes of the first half here at Main Road in this 1993 version of the Manchester derby, we have no goals as yet. But Flitcroft delivers the ball for Holden. Parker was too quick for him again. Holden. Poor cross. Rick Holden has not really found the measure of his crossing yet. He is one of the best crossers of a ball in the land, and he's wasted 2 or 3 opportunities now to test Schmeichel here. Curl. Holden again. Pallister is certainly on top in his personal battle against Quinn so far. Good challenge from Ince. Now McClare for Manchester United. Giggs to his right. Parker arriving in support. And the England defender knocks it long. Vonk's clearance. And back it comes now to Giggs. Coton always in control there. And a good early throw sets Peter Reid scurrying forward on the right. Well, Sheeran's going to force Irwin to run all the way here. Now, is that a foul? Is it a corner? Is it a goal kick? What's the referee going to decide? Well, certainly he's decided in United's favour. Manchester United have won away this season at difficult grounds like Arsenal, Liverpool, Queen's Park Rangers. They've won at Nottingham Forest, at Everton and Southampton. And their away form has certainly been enough to suggest that this is a potential championship winning side. But this is the big test today against their great rivals. And so far they've come through it well. Ince. It's a splendid ball by Ince. Giggs. Good effort. Well, that was lovely football from Manchester United. The vision that Paul Ince showed to pick out Giggs, and Giggs' ability to curl that one wickedly, but just wide. Almost hit the camera. He looks dangerous, doesn't he? I know he missed a couple of half chances early on, but he really does look dangerous, Ryan Giggs. Hughes neatly dispossesses Reed. And a good ball, Cantona. First time cross too close to Coton. This is Phelan. Less than 2 minutes of the first half remaining. 0-0 at Main Road. Sheeran. Now, can Holden do better this time? He'll do well to get round Parker. And he hasn't. He's got another chance now. And did well to keep possession. Phelan chips it up. Oh, very good ball. Pallister. Now Reed back into the danger area. Pallister again, so commanding in the air at the moment. We're into the final minute of the first half, and it's still Manchester City 0, Manchester United 0. Vonk now for City. Too deep. Well, there won't be too much stoppage time. I can hardly remember physio being on. In fact, I don't think we've had one on. Here's Giggs. Pulling it back for Hughes. Good work by Bob. And that's a foul, surely. No, the referee said play on because City were in possession. Reed knocking it forward to White. Chances here for City. Great run by Flitcroft in the centre forward position. It goes out wide though to Sheeran. Onside, is it? No. The linesman was a bit late flagging, but I must say it did look as though Quinn was offside, and that's the decision. Brian Kidd nearest the camera, Alex Ferguson's assistant, who played in the last United team to win the championship. Again, Quinn protests his innocence, but the linesman is perfectly placed to give the decision. That's it then. An enterprising and entertaining first half at Main Road. Chances for both sides, but undoubtedly Eric Cantona's was the best opportunity of a goal. His downward header was well saved by Tony Coton, and at times the Manchester City goalkeeper must have been worried when Ryan Giggs was in possession, but neither set of forwards has managed to gain any control over the two sets of defenders, and that means that at half-time we have a scoreline of Manchester City 0, Manchester United 0.
You are on. You are watching Neo Sports.
So Manchester United get the second half of the derby match against Manchester City underway. 0-0, remember, at the end of 45 minutes, with United certainly having the better of the scoring opportunities in that first half, but they were few and far between, really. Eric Cantona there had the best of the lot, a header that was saved by Tony Coton. Curl slipping under pressure from Ryan Giggs. And found Holden well. Got out of trouble nicely there, City. Well, for a player whose ability on the ground is not normally regarded as his strong point. That was a very skillful piece of play there by Niall Quinn before Bruce thumped it out for a City throw. United have lost only one of their last 7 league games and had that great run of 10 wins and 2 draws between November and January, which has taken them into this strong position they have, along with Aston Villa and Norwich, at the top of the Premier League. Manchester City looking to improve on their best performances since they were promoted back to the top flight 4 seasons ago, during which time they've been 14th, 5th and then 5th again last season. Remember, they can go 4th if they win here. And up and under from Flitcroft. Bruce was the man under. That was a good header by Vonk. Quinn. Hill. And now Sheeran. Poor ball. And Irwin did well to ride the challenge and find McClare. Cantona wanted it quickly, and Giggs making a break down the centre. Maybe took it a shade too far there, Brian McClare, breaking from midfield. Easy for me to say. I felt he should have delivered it earlier, and he can't understand the referee's decision then. But a free kick to City nonetheless. And that famous, distinctive Manchester City song, Blue Moon, ringing around Main Road. One of the more melodic of the terrace tunes. And will they still be singing that in 40 minutes or so? It's entirely dependent on whether Cope can keep the ball out of his net and City can force one in at the other end. And naturally enough, the result of these derby matches has a profound effect on life in the city for the next couple of weeks or so. Phelan getting it forward, interception by Ince. Now Phelan again. Reid lays it off to Vonk. Nice play by Hughes. McClare not been at his sharpest, Brian McClare, so far. Still looks slightly uncomfortable in that position between the midfield and the front men. And Bruce, forced into the mistake by White, has given Manchester City a throw. Reid calling for it, eager to be in the thick of things at all times. There's Seeley, the Manchester United substitute goalkeeper, warming up. Here's Reid again. Well, he got that wrong. He chid himself for that. I mentioned the matches that Manchester United have won away from Old Trafford this season. Their away record really is excellent. It shows 6 wins, 6 draws, and just 4 defeats. Nice skill at the back by Vonk, but he's under pressure straight away. That was splendid work. And now Giggs, and a chance for Cantona here, and still Cantona. He's missed again. Coton denies the Frenchman his second great scoring opportunity of the game, and this was even better, really. He shrugged off the challenge well, and from that range should have punished the Manchester City goalkeeper. Well, Manchester City really got themselves in all manner of trouble at the back there, and I just wonder, when you start getting to get breaks like that, whether that means the game's going in their favour. White at the other end, Flitcroft goes in, a good strong challenge though by Ince. The pace noticeably quicker here at the start of the second half. Parker slips. It's lively all right now. Brian McClare knocks it long. But there are a few quicker defenders around than the Republic of Ireland international Terry Phelan. Vonk under pressure again from Giggs. They're really not letting these defenders settle in possession at all, and a good ball forward to McClair, and McClair goes diving forward. Well, even had the referee decided that was a foul, it would not have been a penalty because the challenge took place outside the box. And I think he has decided it was a foul. I thought Brian McClair was looking for this a little bit here, I must confess. Well, that's how close it was to being a penalty, and you can't get much closer than that. But if you accept it was a foul, the referee has certainly made the right decision in giving it outside the box. Giggs might fancy curling one in here, or he could tap it short for Irwin, who can blast them. It's Giggs, straight at the wall. Ince, straight at the wall again. Reed breaks clear, pursued by Sharp. And heaven knows how many years there are between those two. In fact, I can tell you he's just 21, Lee Sharp, and the old chap here is 36, almost 37. And he still had to be fouled to be dispossessed. A bright start to the second half at Main Road, still 0-0. Good work by Pallister, who's been absolutely a rock at the back here for United. Hasn't put a foot wrong yet. And Vonk's doing pretty well too in his personal crusade against Mark Hughes. Curl. Challenges coming in thick and fast, and it breaks here for Giggs. He's got the pace to get in behind the defenders. Can he finish? Great work again by Terry Phelan. It's a goal kick. Well, Phelan's positional sense and pace got Manchester City out of jail here. Did enough with the challenge to put Giggs off, and it looked a likely goal-scoring chance. And you get increasingly the impression now that United are getting on top here, but as I said a moment ago, I just wonder if it's going to be one of those days for them where things aren't going to break. Interesting if Manchester City scored first, that's for sure. And the home fans getting behind their side. Hill. Reed. Vonk. Ince misses out. Turn forward to Sheeran. Good double challenge. Oh, but it breaks loose again. Was that offside? No. Irwin was claiming offside, the linesman's flag stayed down. Hill gets it back from Keith Curle. Down the line for White. Irwin took no chances, and quite right too. Nice turn here by Sheeran, and he's done well to lose the defender and chips it forward just a bit too deep. Ryan Giggs for Manchester United. Well, again, Brian McClair makes a fruitless run from midfield. Giggs failed to find him. I think the encouraging thing about this game so far is that quite clearly neither side has decided that a draw is enough. There's no hint of caution about the match. And the fact that we haven't had any goals is purely down to the skill of defenders like Pallister here. Not a lack of attacking intent on either side's part. Certainly not. Quite the opposite. It's flowed from end to end here. Ferguson and Kidd maybe thinking of a substitution there. Jim McGregor, the physio, seemed to be perhaps handing over a number on the Manchester United bench. Captain Marvel, as they call him, Brian Robson, Andrei Kanchelskis, the Soviet international winger, and of course Les Sealey, the reserve goalkeeper. Foul by Reed on Ince. Intelligently, quickly taken free kick to Giggs. Giggs goes at the heart of the defenders and slides it forward to Cantona. And the bump did well. Very well. Holden, who's had a bit of a disappointing match so far. Better ball this time. Quinn's layoff wasn't so good. But it comes back to Reed. And Reed with a good ball for White. He's got the pace to test Pallister here. And got the shot in. That's good play by David White. And good positioning from Schmeichel there. Well, that's a clear foul by Reed, and he might be in a bit of trouble with the referee for that. He holds his hand up to acknowledge. And Sharp stays down, and McClare ain't too happy. I think this was the tackle of a 36-year-old against a 21-year-old. He knew he was done for pace. He knew it was the only way to stop him. He's lucky to escape a caution, I feel, and he knows that. Perhaps he hasn't escaped it. No, he hasn't. No, out comes the yellow card. The referee has decided that was a bookable offence, and when Peter Reid looks back at that one on the video, he's bound to agree. Honest man. Sharp would have been away and galloping into acres of space if Reid hadn't stopped him then. 12 minutes gone in the second half. 0-0. The free kick was wasted by Manchester United. Coton gets it round to the left foot and delivers a useful ball. City looking strong in this attack. They've got a lot of players forward. Holden delivers the cross and Quinn! Yes! Niall Quinn gives Manchester City the lead. A devastatingly simple move, and for the first time in the game, Rick Holden produces the kind of cross we know he's capable of, and Quinn produces the kind of header for which he's become famed. Beautiful cross by Holden, tempted Schmeichel, food and drink that one for Niall Quinn, and the big Irishman scores his 7th goal of the season to give Manchester City the lead here. And Manchester United, in their quest for the Premier League Championship, have got a real battle on their hands here today now. They're 1 down. Well, I did say that make this match particularly interesting, and there's another little interesting collision gone on in midfield there, and Eric, the Frenchman, and Keith Curl, the West Country man, share their knowledge of one or two finer points of the English language, I think. Free kick. I was going to say, though, that if City had scored first, and they have now, it would give a really interesting element to this match. This is a match, of course, that Manchester United, in their pursuit of the title, cannot really afford to lose. Curl is cautioned. So, Quinn's immaculate header from Holden's perfect cross has really set up this derby match now. Less than 15 minutes gone in the second half, and Manchester United are a goal behind, and Eric is displaying again his control of the English language, Anglo-Saxon variety, no doubt, and referee Hart says cut it, and it'll all be resolved with a free kick to Manchester United. It's gone in short, back to Bruce from Ince. Decent looking ball as well, and Ince just beaten to it by Reed. Hughes, foul. Whoops, it's getting a little bit competitive, shall we say now. Hill fouling Hughes. Well, I think no one comes to a local derby expecting it all to be nicey, pretty football, and this certainly hasn't been. It's been fiercely contested, just as you'd expect. United's free kick. Irwin will take it right-footed. Oh, it wasn't a bad effort. They might be jeering behind that goal where the City fans are packed, but I'll tell you what, another few inches lower, and United fans might have been cheering. It was a decent effort by Dennis Irwin, who scored 4 times this season for Manchester United. Under half an hour to go. Coton's saves have given City the platform to go on and score themselves through this man Quinn, and they lead by 1-0. I think somehow or other there's more drama and much more of it to come in this game. Cantona, Ince, feeling under pressure from Giggs. Don't think it was a foul, and the referee doesn't either. Parker turning it on, bad ball though. And Manchester City's 32 Premier League games this season have produced 13 wins, 7 draws and 12 defeats. It's been an inconsistent season by this team that Peter Reid has built, but a lot of their failings will be forgiven by their supporters today if they can hold on and win this. And Niall Quinn's header has given them a great chance of doing so. Quinn, who actually scored City's lone goal in their 2-1 defeat at Old Trafford back in December, and some anxious looks perhaps now on the Manchester United bench. Yes, there is that long still to go. Brian Kidd glances at his watch. 17 minutes completed in the second half. It's Manchester City 1, Manchester United 0. A little bit of an elbow went in there on Reid, and Mark Hughes is going to become the 3rd player in this second half to be shown the yellow card, I think. Is. And this is why. Watch for what happens here as Reid goes up for the ball. Well, I can't quite get to that point. Yes, there it is. City's free kick. They lead by 1-0. Alistair's clearance is picked up by the player manager, and down the line it goes, and the cross much too deep. Still, he's had a lively game, Sheeran. Holden came off the City man, and he's kept in play anyway. Well, having just praised Sheeran, you've got to criticise him for that wasteful ball. And Curl under pressure straight away at the other end. Giggs has done well, and Curl did even better, showing his anticipation there. And Hughes has had one of those frustrating matches when you sense that his temper's getting a little frayed. Manchester United are thinking now perhaps of bringing on Kanchelskis, because Lee Sharp has had a disappointing match, in my opinion. Haven't seen very much of him. He's not got at Manchester City on either of the flanks, and I wonder if a fresh pair of legs in the shape of Kanchelskis might do the trick. We shall see. We've also got Ryan Robson, of course, but it's possibly not the situation for him just yet. Been out a long time, the former England captain. Whistle's gone, free kick to City, United rather. 25 minutes to go. Alistair's free kick. City move like clockwork a yard forward, and inevitably they get the offside decision. And Ferguson again glances at his watch and wonders when the right moment may be to change things round here, or perhaps he's happy to leave the Side the shape it is, and that was a dangerous ball there by the captain, Bruce. Hughes dispossessed by Reed. Won't be very happy about that. Here's Ince. It's not a bad ball, is it, by Ince? And Sharp for once does get in behind the last defender. Whoops! Oh dear, Coton took a heck of a risk then. And he and Hill got themselves in a bit of a tangle, but Hill in the end did well to dispossess Sharp. And here's Holden. It's a flick block. It's a really good game now. Unrelenting pace and excitement. Good lay-up from Hughes. Irwin. Sharp. Doesn't look quite right, does he? Doesn't explode away from defenders the way he used to and can do. Oh, good skill by Cantona. Lovely to see that in the fury of a local derby. Here's Ince. Now then, Sharp's got a chance to get the ball in accurately here, and it's not a back cross to the far post. But Cantona was behind the line, and more significantly so was the ball when he finally headed it in. Play roars forward again. I was unlucky feeling, just checked out and knocked it out, all in one movement. We're midway through the second half. Manchester United are a goal behind. Giggs has given it away. Peter Reid. Offside. Not sure it was Quinn. It might have been Sheeran there in the middle, top of the picture. Irwin. Well, that's wasteful again by Manchester United. I think it's got to be time for Mrs. Ferguson and Kidd to think of making a change somehow here. They're just beginning to look a bit predictable, Manchester United. Excellent work by the goal scorer Quinn at the other end, and then a good challenge by Pallister. Good tag. Brilliant play by Hughes. And a good ball too. Sharp. Cantona making ground in the middle, and he finds it! Yes! A magnificent equaliser by Manchester United. Eric Cantona. A lovely move, and I've been criticising Sharp, but my word, he delivered a beautiful cross here. As good as Holden's, and Cantona's header was every bit as good as Quinn's. Look at the room, though, in the middle of the City defence. Keith Curle, yards adrift of his man, and Eric Cantona scores his 7th goal of the season to bring the teams level. 24 minutes of the second half gone, and it's Manchester City 1, Manchester United 1. No foul on Leclerc. Well, they're in for a splendid finish now. I'm sure of that. Ince. Good ball. Brian McClair. Whew. That was close. That was close. Into the side netting. It was a lovely move by Manchester United for that equalising goal. It really was splendid football. And now all of a sudden, from looking a little jaded and predictable, they've got the upper hand again here, and the problem too, well, the ball just bounced too high for Irwin in the end, and Cope just had to stand his ground. Peter Reid. David White. Sheeran, Rob. Well, the cross was much too hurried and came off the outside of the foot for a goal kick. 20 minutes remaining, and Cantona, having missed earlier in the match 2 good opportunities, has rescued United with an equaliser. Hughes has given away a free kick though. Parker. Again, the pressure from Manchester City players on these United defenders in possession has earned a reward, a throw in. Nobody has any time on the ball in this game, nobody. So has the Frenchman's goal earned Manchester United the point they will need to go back to the top. Well, they'll have to wait a little bit longer yet. Sheeran sets up a chance. It's hit the post. Frustration for Manchester City, because within a couple of minutes of going level, they could have gone in front here. Just hit the foot of the post. Well, Peter Reid describes Sheeran as a natural goal scorer with a good football brain, and you can see what he meant then. It was only the thickness of the paintwork that denied him giving Manchester City the lead back again. And Sheeran, I thought, was foul then. The referee didn't though. Well, you still wouldn't like to predict which way this game would go. 18 minutes remaining, 1-1. Foul on Leclerc, free kick to Manchester United. Pallister lifts it up there towards Leclerc, but it wasn't a very good ball, and Manchester City get it away. Bruce. It's not a bad ball. And it forced Bond into the clearance. Manchester United's throw that. Came off White. Irwin. Good ball, but offside. Ryan McClellan. Doing well despite the presence of White, and again the coach's got to come out here. He in the end kept cool and just let the ball arrive. Pallister has won virtually every header against Quinn, bar in fact more than mattered when Quinn scored. Here's Reid. Holden on the bar post. Not really the strong point of Rick Holden's game, heading the ball, and I think he proved it then. Had it been Quinn, not Holden, could have been a different outcome. Quarter of an hour to go then in this tense and very close Manchester derby. City 1, United 1. Excellent ball, Flitcroft out to Sheeran. Good little reverse ball to Hill. This looks promising, but the cross not good enough. Hughes. That's a fine pass. Giggs. Well, they've got chances here. They've got a lot of players forward. It's Hughes. Now then, I thought Curl deliberately pushed Hughes aside then, it might have been deemed a fair shoulder charge by the referee. We should have to wait and have another look at that, because player's gone on with Reid, and that's a good ball for Quinn, well read though. Excellent play again from Hughes. Parker chooses to go back rather than forward. And Schmeichel panicked. Still very open this game. Reid, who has had a quite splendid match, and wins a foul, I think. The linesman's indicated a throw in, and Peter Reid says, "Cool, goodness me, at this age it doesn't get any easier." Free kick, the referee has decided. Quite right, I think. Holden's cross, not a very good one. Keith Curle. That's a good ball back in. Now Quinn. United looking dangerous here on the break. Sharp. Giggs in acres of space here on the right. And knocks it long. On to Cantona. Well blocked by Bonk. That looked dangerous for a moment for Manchester City. And the pressure comes now at the other end. McClair. Ince. He hit that well. It was a rising shot. And Coton just handled it as though he was picking an apple off a tree. Very calm. Good effort by Ince. Played well, Tony Cope. Quinn. Reid. And now Flitcroft. And as the sun comes out, we move into the last 12 minutes of the match here. Ince has conceded a free kick. They're poised at 1-1. And poised is the right word, because neither side has been able to consistently get on top in this game. In fact, I would say a draw at the moment would be a just outcome if it finishes that way. Curle knocks the free kick in long, and then he goes to Flitcroft, and now Sheeran. Oh, unlucky there for City. Still danger. Holden, good looking cross, and Bonk got up well on the far post but couldn't get any power in his header. No, hearts must have been in the mouth then for Manchester United supporters as City created the pressure in the goal mouth. Flitcroft first, then Sheeran, both close, and Bonk in the end with the header. Well, even a gambling man wouldn't like to say which of the two sides could win this at the moment. Quinn. White. Cross is good. Flitcroft on the far post. Was that handle by Schmeichel before it went over the line? Yes, the referee has given the corner. The Dane not very happy with that decision. Hard to tell here. No, I think the referee was right, yeah. Holden. And wins another corner off Sharp. That's a better one, deep to Vonk again, onto the roof of the net. Wasn't a very good kick there by Schmeichel. Hughes did really well, strong there in possession, and Parker knocks it long. Now the City fans wanted a free kick there. The referee said play on. Holden. Parker takes it off. Giggs did well to keep it in play. But Manchester City are nothing if not very determined in the challenge. 9 minutes on the watch. Manchester City 1, Manchester United 1. It's been an excellent derby match, this. Are we going to have a winner, or will it stay level? Boos for Cantona. They've been booing him from the kick-off, so it's nothing to do with the fact that he scored the equalising goal. They just don't like him, the City fans. Here's Brian McClair. Cantona will chase that. Hill always had the beating of him, and in fact I think whistle's gone anyway. Irwin, under pressure from Flitcroft, has got the ball forward. Quinn knocks it back in. Pallister has had a really immaculate game, finding Ince. And the chase on here, and Cantona has momentarily got the better of Keith Curle. Good work by Cantona. Well, that's a poor ball though by Giggs, because Hughes was threatening to break clear then, and Giggs knows that. That's why he's chasing back so hard to make up for his own mistake. The ball forward to Sheeran, is it? No, it's just too strong for him. Excellent work from Hughes, and then Ince finding Sharp. Good work by Lee Sharp. Cope again in the right place. Still neither manager has decided to make a substitution as we move into the final 7 minutes. The City manager out there on the park, of course. He allows his assistant Sam Ellis to make those decisions for him when he's actually playing, which he hasn't done very often this season, Peter Reid. You'd never guess the way he's performed today. And maybe United are thinking of a substitution. Six minutes to go, and it's tempting to think that if either side scores now, it would surely be the winning goal. It'd be difficult to see either team coming back from conceding one now at this late stage. Here's Hill for Manchester City. Pallister again wins it back, but Flitcroft for City. With a good ball forward, no offside flag. And good work there by Irwin, wasn't it just? Schmeichel hooks it clear. Good defending by the Irishman. Another little flare up there involving Ince and Flitcroft on that occasion. Free kick taken too quickly by United. Curl to Reid. Flitcroft. Whoops! A little 1-2 off the referee, they all count. Well, that's a 50-50 ball at best there by Parker. Schmeichel had to dash to retrieve that one. 5 minutes to go. Manchester City 1, Manchester United 1. Reid still there, still wanting the ball, still getting involved. Hill knocks it long towards Quinn. And Irwin tries to knock it over the roof of the stand by the looks of things. I think they need another ball. Brian Robson waits and wonders whether he's going to be needed by his team. Quinn. Still got the cross in despite the attentions of Pallister. Bruce gets it away. Straight to Reed though. Back in it goes again to Quinn. Now White. A left-footed cross, not bad. Flitcroft will have to work to keep this in, and just did so. Holden. Young Flitcroft again. Clever little ball into Sheeran. That's a goal kick, surely. Yes. Frustration for Mike Sheeran. Well, concentration required now by both sets of defenders as we move into the last 4 minutes of the match. The defensive players out here today have done particularly well. And they've got to keep going now. A goal now would surely be enough to win the match for the side who score it. It's a decent header, and Flitcroft almost got in behind Parker. Roars of encouragement from the Manchester City fans as the home side go forward, looking for a winning goal here. But their player manager Peter Reid in for Shearer, and that's a corner off Irwin, and that could be vital. United have pulled most of their players back to defend here as Holden takes the kick. Von beaten to it though. Reed retrieves it, and Holden took a difficult ball well on the chest. And he's got round Leclerc. The cross pulled in to the near post, and Bonk battles to win a corner. 2 minutes to go, and the drama continues to the very end at Main Road today. Ince gets it clear this time. Sharp. Offside. Ryan Giggs. Well, again, I do not recall either of the physios being needed in this second half, so there won't be too much stoppage time. Minute and a half to go on my watch. I think the fact that physios haven't been needed indicates that although this has been a very competitive match, it's by and large been a very clean match as well. Here's White, good-looking ball in. And Cantona was the lucky man to find the ball dropping at his feet. Good challenge though by Sheeran. City determinedly win it back. Coton's contact wasn't as good as he would have wanted, but of course what happened then was that Leclerc was offside. We're into the final minute of normal time now. Oh dear, that was a risky thing to try at this stage of the game. And it's given Manchester United an unexpected throw-in. Ince, United still going for the winner here. Cantona tries to get in behind the defender, but Hill did well. Still time to win it for either side, but it's increasingly looking like a draw now. Parker, that ball straight to Flitcroft. Sheeran turns away and keeps possession and finds White, and White tries the shot gently into the arms of Schmeichel though. We are now into stoppage time as Ryan Giggs sets off down United's left. It's good skill. He decided it was going to be a free kick, and the referee upheld his decision. And he gets it back again from Ince, and he's onside here. Oh, he hit the cross too deep. And Sharp is dispossessed. Holden. Throw into Manchester City. That might just be enough to see out the last few seconds. And if Giggs had produced a better cross then, Manchester United looked in a strong position. They had 3 players inside the 6-yard box. But Giggs hit the cross too deep. That's it. It's all over at Main Road. and I think it's ended with the right result as well. Manchester City took the lead 13 minutes into the second half with a splendid headed goal by Niall Quinn from Rick Holden's cross, and then a very similar move brought about Manchester United's equaliser when Lee Sharp knocked the ball in, and this time Eric Cantona headed beyond Tony Coton. Both sides really went about this in a committed manner, and I don't think either side deserved to lose. So the final score then on this sunny morning at Main Road, Manchester: Manchester City 1, Manchester United 1. Honours even.